A scream of swifts. Birds, Simon said. That's what I'm afraid of. Birds. I looked up at him. Bombs and anti-aircraft tracers still flared and boomed all around us, and Simon didn't bat an eye at them. But he was afraid of birds? My hand to God, Simon said. Birds frighten the pants off me. One bird I'm all right with, though I'm still not a fan. But get a group of them together, all lingering about in a tree or on an electrical wire. He shuddered. A murder of crows kills me. A pandemonium of parrots makes me panic. A bevy of quail makes me quail, which is ironic, don't you think? Seeing as how the birds and I both love to fly. I almost crashed a de Havilland twin-engine mosquito while trying to get away from a row of geese flying south for the winter. I chuckled. My father was a hard man, Simon said, his eyes on the bombers in the sky. Solicitor. Very serious. Didn't take it lightly that his son had some irrational fear of a bunch of birds. Told me the best thing for me was to confront my fear head on. So one evening, he took me up onto a rooftop, much like this one, and stood me on a chimney. He told me it was to get used to birds. What he didn't tell me was that the chimney was full of swifts. I sat up and wiped my mouth with my sleeve. Have you ever seen swifts emerging from a chimney, Michael? At a precise time each evening, they burst forth from the chimney where they nest like water from a garden hose. Hundreds of them at a time. They battered me, clawed me, flapped their terrible wings in my face as they hurtled by. I was absolutely surrounded by them. I tried to leap away, but my father grabbed me by the shoulders and held me in place, made me stand there and be swarmed by them. The idea was that by facing my worst fear, I would just get over it. There was a haunted look in Simon's eyes now, and I knew he wasn't joking about any of it. It sounded silly to be afraid of birds, but a real fear, a real phobia, was a serious thing. People without one couldn't understand. Simon worked at steadying his breathing. Was he doing sums in his head to distract himself? Whatever he was doing, I gave him the time and space to do it. It didn't work, of course, Simon said, when he had recovered a little. I think I can confidently say it made things very much worse. So I won't be dangling you off the side of the building in case you were wondering. But confronting your fear in a controlled situation and learning to deal with your responses helps prepare you for the big ones. To that I can attest. Small steps, Michael, small steps. All around us, the Allies pounded Berlin, leveling the city to rubble a little more. So, ready to try again, Simon said at last. I think the Yanks will give us another hour or so's privacy. I took a deep breath and nodded. Did you hear the one I said about the Irishman, the Scotsman, and the Englishman stranded on a desert island?